As we move through our lives, particularly during our later years, it's important to appreciate the insights that age brings while also keeping ourselves receptive to new opportunities. In this video, we will delve into 7 life-changing truths that can contribute to a more rewarding and well-rounded existence. These insights range from the importance of discerning whom you can trust to establishing constructive boundaries, releasing the weight of past experiences, and welcoming transformations in your life. Each of these pieces of wisdom aims to inspire you to lead a life that is both true to yourself and filled with joy. If you find value in this content, we encourage you to support us by subscribing to the Stoic Mind Mastery channel. Your path toward a richer life begins right here. If you resonate with this message, please press 6. If it doesn't strike a chord with you, feel free to let us know otherwise. Thank you for being a part of this journey, and always keep in mind that there are still wonderful experiences ahead. 1. Be cautious about placing your trust in everyone who comes into your life without considering their intentions. As we navigate through life, particularly as we grow older, the significance of authentic companionship becomes increasingly evident. The hectic days once filled with work, family responsibilities, and social activities gradually transition into more serene times. The stillness of a deserted home, the lack of familiar faces, and the slower rhythm of life can weigh heavily on the emotions. There emerges an intense longing to find someone with whom you can share your experiences, someone who will listen, empathize, and perhaps even help fill that gap left by loneliness. However, while this craving for connection is completely natural, it can also render us susceptible to individuals who may not have our best interests in mind. Have you ever noticed how, during challenging times, certain people suddenly appear in your life? When everything feels chaotic and you're yearning for assistance, these individuals seem to emerge as if they were sent to support you. They provide a compassionate ear, a comforting presence, and assurances of assistance. During those darkest hours, you feel recognized, acknowledged, and cared for. Yet, too frequently, once you've regained your strength, they vanish without any explanation, leaving you pondering whether their intentions were genuine. Unfortunately, in many instances, this is indeed the case. Some individuals out there take advantage of vulnerability. They are skilled at entering your life at precisely the moment when your defenses are low and you are desperately seeking the connection that has been absent. It's a harsh reality to face, but not every new acquaintance is motivated by a desire to uplift you. Rather, some may come with taking something from you in mind. These seemingly kind-hearted individuals might be drawn to your openness and willingness to connect, much like moths are attracted to a flame. They capitalize on your generosity and need for closeness, manipulating your good nature to extract what they seek, whether it's your time, emotional energy, or material resources. The most painful aspect: after they've taken all they can, they often leave you feeling even emptier and lonelier than before. The realization that you have been exploited can be particularly crushing, especially later in life when trust feels incredibly valuable and scarce. However, it's important to understand that although this understanding can be disheartening, it doesn't mean you have to live in an endless cycle of distrust or isolation. You are not obligated to block out new relationships just because you fear being taken advantage of. Instead, the goal should be to cultivate a discerning heart. Learn to exercise caution without becoming cold. When new individuals enter your life, pause to ask yourself some difficult yet essential questions. Why have they chosen this moment to come into my life? What do they genuinely seek? Does their behavior feel authentic, or does something seem amiss? Trust your gut feelings. Even when they lead you to inconvenient truths, your intuition holds great power, particularly as you age and gain wisdom. Having lived through numerous experiences, you've likely developed the ability to spot subtle warning signs. Don't ignore these indicators when they arise. If someone's actions contradict their words, or if you sense that their connection to you depends solely on what they can gain, don't hesitate to take a step back. It's perfectly acceptable to safeguard your peace and establish boundaries. Setting boundaries is one of the most empowering decisions you can make for yourself. You have no obligation to welcome everyone into your life without reservation. You hold every right to decline invitations, erect barriers where necessary, and prioritize your well-being above all else. This isn't selfish, it is essential. Your time, energy, and emotional investments are invaluable and should only be shared with those who genuinely appreciate you, not those who merely wish to exploit your kindness. It's crucial to recognize that trust should be earned rather than handed out freely to anyone who comes along. Approach new connections with caution, though remain open to forging genuine bonds, just not at the cost of your own peace. As you become more discerning, you will begin to identify patterns in people's behaviors that reveal their true motives. You'll develop the awareness needed to see when someone arrives expecting to benefit from your goodwill, empowering you to disengage before harm occurs. If you're still engaged with this message and find its insights valuable, please express your thoughts by commenting one below to confirm your presence. While maintaining this balance between openness and caution may seem daunting, it is definitely achievable. Picture a life filled exclusively with people who uplift, inspire, and support you without demanding anything in return. Envision the liberation that accompanies knowing you can trust those around you without constantly monitoring your back. That level of serenity is attainable, though it requires vigilance, wisdom, and the bravery to assertively decline when circumstances call for it. Have you ever experienced the pain of betrayal from someone you thought you could rely on? If so, know that you are certainly not alone. Many individuals have felt that overwhelming sense of being deceived. However, the capability to change this narrative resides within you. By selectively choosing whom to trust and prioritizing your well-being, you can break free from the cycle of overextending yourself to those who offer nothing meaningful in return. It's high time you reclaim your inner tranquility. You deserve to enjoy your later years with clarity, untangled from drama and manipulation from those who don't truly care. You've earned the right to be discerning, to protect your heart, and to surround yourself only with those who genuinely illuminate your life. Consider how your outlook might shift if you became more intentional about whom you allow into your circle of trust. How much greater peace and joy might you discover if you firmly refuse to let anyone sap your energy or exploit your kindness. You have endured enough trials. Now is the moment to safeguard yourself, listen to your instincts, and embrace the wisdom that comes from lived experience. Should you have ever suffered at the hands of someone you trusted, remember that you possess the power to rewrite that story. Continue to explore, as the next truth will reveal how to liberate yourself from the habit of living for others and instead focus on living authentically for yourself. 2. Don't be afraid to distance yourself from toxic people, even if they're family. It's important to understand that distancing yourself from toxic individuals, including family members, is a crucial aspect of self-care. One of the toughest realizations in life is acknowledging that not every person, even those related by blood, warrants a permanent position in your life. Society often teaches us from childhood that familial bonds are paramount and that we should endure any difficulties to maintain these relationships, no matter the strain it puts on our well-being. However, when the price of such loyalty includes sacrificing your mental, emotional, or physical health, it's time to reconsider what family truly means to you. How many times have you endured disrespect, manipulation, or even abuse because of the belief that family always comes first? How often have you set aside your own needs just to avoid conflict or feelings of guilt? The truth is, you have every right to safeguard your peace, which may sometimes involve putting distance between yourself and those closest to you. While it's often said that blood is thicker than water, that doesn't imply that you should allow it to submerge you in distress. If certain familial relationships drag you down, make you feel insignificant, or leave you feeling depleted, it's essential to reevaluate those connections. You are under no obligation to provide endless forgiveness or loyalty if it comes at the cost of your happiness. Take a moment to envision what life might look like if you were liberated from the burdensome effects of toxic relationships. Imagine waking up each day surrounded by individuals who genuinely appreciate, respect, and support you without tearing you down. Can you feel how uplifting that prospect can be? Achieving that level of peace and freedom is feasible, but only if you grant yourself permission to step away from those who do not merit your presence in their lives. You've spent enough time understanding that your time is invaluable, and you can no longer afford to expend your energy or emotional strength on those who fail to enhance your quality of life. This is your opportunity to prioritize your well-being, which may necessitate the tough decision to distance yourself from people who inflict more harm than good, even if they're your family. Choosing to walk away from harmful relatives is not a reflection of a lack of love. It illustrates your commitment to self-love through the establishment of boundaries that protect your inner tranquility. Opting for this path is not selfish. Instead, it could be one of the most compassionate and respectful choices you make for yourself. You are not abandoning those you love, rather you are taking decisive action to safeguard your mental health. By asserting that I deserve better, you're acknowledging a fundamental truth: you truly do deserve healthier relationships grounded in mutual respect and kindness. If certain family members are unwilling or unable to provide that, it may be time to release them from your life. It's entirely acceptable to reject toxicity, no matter the source, particularly from those who should be your greatest supporters. You aren't tasked with carrying the emotional weight of others, especially when they disregard your limits. Establishing boundaries and declaring "I will no longer accept this treatment" is an empowering stance. Your time, energy, and joy are far too precious to waste in efforts to maintain harmony with those who disrupt it. Consider someone in your life who drains your spirit, diminishes your worth, or makes you feel inadequate. Picture your life after drawing a firm line saying "no more." Although you may experience a mix of fear, guilt, and sadness in that moment, there will also be an overwhelming sense of relief and liberation from reclaiming control over your life. You don't have to bear the burden of difficult family dynamics any longer. It's perfectly acceptable to create distance. Should guilt arise, remind yourself that stepping back doesn't equate to a lack of caring. It's a conscious decision to care for yourself instead. Prioritizing self-care is an act of survival, not selfishness. Your health and happiness deserve to be protected, even if it requires cutting ties with those who share your genetic makeup. Life is fleeting, and it shouldn't be spent in the company of those who cause pain rather than joy. Reflect on whether someone in your life consistently projects negativity. How much lighter would you feel if you removed them from your life or established solid boundaries for your protection? Envision how different your days could become if you surrounded yourself with people who uplift you, respect your boundaries, and recognize your worth. If you've been feeling constrained by the expectations or guilt of others, embracing the next reality could lead you to release the need for validation from those who may never offer it, opening the door to genuine freedom and self-acceptance. 3. Stop prioritizing the desires and expectations of others, especially your relatives. For many years, you have been the reliable pillar for those around you. You assumed the role of caregiver, provider, and enduring strength for your partner, children, and friends. You poured your heart and soul into supporting them, always prioritizing their needs over your own. From early mornings spent preparing lunches to late nights filled with worries about your children's futures, and being the emotional support when others falter, your existence has revolved around unwavering selflessness. However, at this juncture in your life, it's essential to reflect on who is nurturing you. The difficult, sometimes harsh reality is that no one will focus on your happiness unless you choose to prioritize it yourself. For a significant portion of your life, societal norms or family beliefs may have led you to think that your value lies in how much you offer to others. Your worth has been gauged based on how many meals you prepare, how often you care for your grandchildren, or how willing you are to listen to everyone's troubles. You've been brought up to feel that your purpose is centered on serving others. As you continue to age, this feeling might become even more pronounced, making it seem as if your significance diminishes without continuous giving. But let's consider this: at what personal expense does come? Have you taken a moment to reflect on the impact this endless cycle of giving has on your well-being? How frequently do you experience exhaustion physically, mentally, and emotionally? How often do you sense that your efforts go unrecognized or feel invisible despite your contributions? And how often have you found yourself hiding a growing sense of annoyance because you've prioritized everyone else's needs instead of your own? Living to satisfy others, particularly your family, differs significantly from genuine love. It's akin to confining yourself, a trap that prevents you from experiencing true enjoyment in life, pursuing your aspirations, and feeling the profound, genuine joy that transpires when you live for yourself. You deserve more than to function merely as a support system for others without receiving any consideration for your own needs. This chapter of your life is invaluable, and it's time to take it back for yourself. You have every right to spend your laters engaged in activities that bring you joy, whether that involves traveling, discovering hobbies you've always wanted to explore, or simply resting without guilt. Your wants and dreams hold as much weight, if not more, than anyone else's. It's time to turn the spotlight away from pleasing loved ones and begin honoring your own desires. Admittedly, this transition can be challenging, particularly in family dynamics. There often exists an implicit expectation that parents, especially mothers, should always be ready to give and be available. But consider this: what about your needs? Placing yourself first isn't selfish, it is a vital act of self-compassion that you've long ignored. If your family genuinely loves you, they will come to understand and respect your need for self-care. They may initially struggle to accept it, and might even resist or try to make you feel guilty for stepping out of your traditional role. Yet, that isn't your concern to resolve. You've invested so much of yourself over the years, and now it's your time to start living authentically for yourself. If some family members fail to comprehend or support your choices, that reflects their issues rather than diminishing your worth. Don't allow feelings of guilt or the fear of letting others down to deter you from reclaiming your happiness, your time, or your peace of mind. After a lifetime dedicated to serving others, it is now your turn to focus on yourself. Picture what your life could be like if you allowed yourself to prioritize your own needs. Visualize waking up each day free to do what you want, liberated from the responsibility of satisfying someone else's expectations. Imagine immersing yourself in new interests, exploring unfamiliar places, or simply savoring peaceful moments of solitude, unburdened by the demands of others. You deserve this liberation. You've earned every moment of it. Now envision how your life would change if you let go of the pressure to cater to others. How liberating would it be to break free from the relentless expectations of family obligations and embrace the things that genuinely bring you happiness? This is your time. This phase of life should not be consumed by the service of others. It should be an opportunity for you to finally turn your attention toward yourself. If you've ever felt a twinge of guilt for wanting to prioritize your own needs, now is the moment to release that guilt. Wanting happiness and peace does not make you selfish, it makes you human, and you have every right to dictate how you want to live your life. When you're ready to embrace this shift and begin leading a life focused on yourself instead of continuously catering to others, the following lesson is vital. It emphasizes the importance of distancing yourself from toxic relationships, even when doing so proves challenging, because sometimes in order to truly achieve freedom, you must let go of those who hinder your progress, even if they are family members. 4. Stop using your age as a justification for not making changes in your life. How many times have you encountered someone saying, "I'm too old for that," or maybe you've expressed this sentiment to yourself? This phrase often acts as a protective barrier, preventing you from stepping outside your comfort zone and into new experiences. Age is frequently cited as a reason to shy away from challenges such as acquiring new skills, overcoming bad habits, or finding joy in unexpected areas. However, the reality is clear: as long as you are alive, there is always an opportunity for growth and transformation. The knowledge gained over the years is a remarkable gift that provides a distinct lens through which to see life. You've navigated numerous obstacles and enjoyed significant highs, all of which impart insights that younger individuals may not yet understand. Still, many fall victim to the misconception that change is no longer possible past a certain age. They falsely believe that opportunities for new beginnings, pursuing fresh passions, or reinventing themselves have vanished. This mindset of surrender limits your potential and traps you in complacency. Consider how often you've held back, convincing yourself it was too late to pursue your dreams. Reflect on the aspirations you've set aside, believing they no longer fit within your life's framework. What missed opportunities have you refrained from chasing due to the belief that your chances have run out? The true misfortune lies not in aging itself, but rather in permitting self-imposed restrictions to hinder a full life. Telling ourselves that we cannot evolve, grow, or experience novel things solely because of age is a deceptive narrative we cling to for comfort. Yet mere comfort does not equate to satisfaction. Your age should not be seen as an impediment. Instead, it symbolizes your strength, resilience, and the richness of your experiences. You are a survivor, a narrator of your own story, and a reservoir of wisdom. As long as you challenge the idea that older individuals cannot embrace new possibilities, you will uncover the abundant offerings life still presents. Regardless of whether you are 60, 70, or beyond, the capacity for growth is always there if you choose to welcome it. Imagine the vast potential still available if you discarded the mental block of thinking "I'm too old." How exhilarating would it be to finally learn that musical instrument you've admired, or to reignite your passion for painting or writing that you once paused? What if today you became determined to view your age not as a hindrance but as an asset? You possess the freedom to reshape your identity, craft a new narrative, and redefine what gives your life purpose during this phase. Take a moment to ponder what you've always dreamed of trying but felt you were too advanced in age to pursue. Perhaps it could be mastering a new language, exploring uncharted territories, or starting a fresh career path or hobby. What barriers stand in your way? Is it anxiety about venturing into the unfamiliar or comfort found in the known? Frequently, the sole obstacle is our mindset. By transcending those limitations, the world around you can open up in extraordinary ways you may never have envisaged. There's no need to cling to obsolete notions about aging. Remember, you are not trapped. There is endless space for new endeavors, aspirations, and fresh beginnings while you are still living. The subsequent chapter of your journey doesn't have to signify winding down. Instead, it can represent a reawakening to the wealth of possibilities awaiting you. Too many people cease to truly live before their time is finished. Don't let yourself become one of them. Stop reinforcing the belief that change belongs only to the younger crowd. It is never too late to explore something new, discover meaning, follow a passion, or evolve into the person you've always aspired to be. Your most rewarding years could still lie ahead, not due to your age, but due to your openness to continual growth. Clinging to outdated beliefs can keep you stagnant, depriving you of the joy and fulfillment that await. Don't allow the tally of your birthdays to dictate your capabilities. Instead, wear your age like a badge of honor, a testament to all you have endured and everything left waiting for you to uncover. The next insight will guide you in letting go of the past and redirecting your energy toward what truly matters, the present moment where your potential remains ready to be unleashed. 5. Avoid relying on the past as your sole source of comfort. Nostalgia can evoke wonderful feelings. It envelops you like a cozy blanket, offering solace through treasured memories, familiar faces, and periods when life felt more straightforward. These recollections, whether it's the joyous laughter during family events, the exhilaration of achieving career goals, or the excitement of young love, occupy a significant place in your heart, and rightly so. They contribute to who you are today. However, if you find yourself dwelling more on what has already happened rather than engaging with the present, that same nostalgia might trap you, preventing you from fully appreciating the life that lies ahead of you. How frequently do you catch yourself reminiscing about how things were better back in my day, or wishing for the happiness you once felt? It's common to look back, especially as time passes and life appears to decelerate. Yet, constantly yearning for the past prevents you from savoring your current experiences. You might end up stuck in a loop of comparing your present life to your reminiscences, often leading your current situation to seem inadequate. But is this sentiment truly rooted in reality? Or do we tend to embellish the past while conveniently overlooking its difficulties? Your memories are invaluable. They lay the groundwork for who you have become. Nonetheless, those cherished moments shouldn't control how you engage with the present. The now, with all its flaws, unpredictabilities, and occasional upheavals, represents your only true experience. Holding on to the past restricts your capacity to thrive in the present. While it might feel like the brightest moments are behind you, there remains potential for beauty, growth, and joy if you allow yourself to welcome it. Consider this: by fixating on previous experiences, you limit your ability to forge new memories and find happiness in the everyday moments. Certainly, your past deserves recognition, but the future is equally filled with promise. There is still ample opportunity for laughter, love, learning, and personal growth. You haven't completed your journey yet. Letting go of the belief that happiness is confined to a bygone era can open your eyes to the possibilities for joy and fulfillment right before you. Visualize how your life could transform if you devoted less energy to yearning for what is past and focused more on what remains achievable. Each day presents fresh opportunities for remembering, finding joy in simplicity, and embracing your current self. You are still growing and capable of happiness throughout your life stages. Don't permit fondness for the past to hinder your experience of the flourishing present. Examine whether you're prioritizing cherished memories over your ongoing reality. Reflect on how often you wish for things to revert to how they used to be. What exciting experiences could you initiate today if you shifted your perspective to focus on the future? What would your daily life entail if you chose to immerse yourself in the current moment, uncovering delight in today instead of desiring an irreversible past? Finding harmony between respecting your past and engaging with your present is essential. You don't need to erase those pivotal memories that shaped you. Rather, you should avoid letting them define your every action. The most fulfilling years of your existence don't have to belong to the past. They can lie ahead, waiting to be explored in unimaginable ways. Release the notion that fulfillment solely exists in what's already transpired. The present can be molded by you, and the future is brimming with endless possibilities. Therefore, consider what steps you can take today to create new memories, seek joy, and accept the person you've developed into. Although your past may have been remarkable, the present holds the potential for extraordinary experiences if you allow it to. Are you clinging to outdated habits or thoughts that hinder your progress? In the subsequent discussion, we will delve into how to cultivate balance in different realms of your life, including those areas we often hesitate to confront. It's time to pursue a lifestyle unburdened by past routines or limiting beliefs, and to start living in ways that honor both your history and your aspirations. 6. Stop anticipating acknowledgement from others for your sacrifices. Throughout your life, you have likely faced numerous situations where you had to make sacrifices. Some were monumental and altered your life significantly, while others might have been minor but nevertheless consumed your time, energy, and aspirations. You have relinquished a great deal for the benefit of those around you, whether it be your children, partner, friends, or even your community. You dedicated yourself wholeheartedly to ensure the well-being of everyone else, often sidelining your own needs in the process. In the back of your mind, there was likely a lingering hope that one day, those you cared for would recognize the extent of your contributions and appreciate all that you've done for them. However, the harsh reality is that this acknowledgement seldom occurs. For many, the recognition and gratitude they yearn for may never come, and the waiting can be incredibly draining both emotionally and mentally. How many nights have you lain awake, reflecting on the times you've gone above and beyond for others, yearning for even the slightest sign of appreciation, such as a simple thank you that goes unspoken? How frequently have you felt overlooked, despite putting forth significant effort? The truth is, depending on others to validate your efforts and recognize your worth is a precarious emotional gamble. When your happiness hinges on external validation, you expose yourself to disappointment. You become susceptible to how others perceive you, some of whom may never truly understand the depth of your sacrifices. The absence of that sought-after acknowledgement can leave you feeling hollow, frustrated, and even resentful. If you're still engaged with this video and find these insights valuable, please comment below so I know you're still here. Yet, it's crucial to grasp that your sacrifices, efforts, and love retain their significance regardless of whether others acknowledge them. The value of what you have given isn't measured by another person's compliments or recognition. The love you invested in nurturing your children, the time dedicated to supporting your partner, and the effort you put into being there for friends, none of this loses its value just because no one stops to recognize your contributions. Your deeds possess their worth, independent of outside accolades. You didn't make those sacrifices seeking applause. You didn't forfeit your time, dreams, or energy merely for recognition. Rather, you did so out of love, concern, and a profound sense of responsibility towards those you hold dear. This selflessness is inherently sufficient. You are not obliged to receive acclaim for your actions in life. The very act of moving forward with integrity, love, and altruism is in itself rewarding. When you start recognizing this truth, you will discover a deeper sense of inner peace that cannot be diminished by anyone else. It's time to release the necessity for external validation. Your self-worth is not contingent upon whether others express gratitude or even acknowledge your efforts. You are worthy simply for who you are and for the sincerity with which you give to others. By ceasing to seek validation from those around you, you reclaim authority over your own happiness. You stop surrendering your emotional health to individuals who may never recognize your endeavors. Instead, you can find satisfaction in knowing you acted out of love and did your utmost. Consider how liberating it would be to live without the constant expectation of receiving recognition. Envision no longer replaying past interactions, pining for gratitude that may never arrive. Imagine how much lighter you would feel if you ceased tying your self-esteem to someone else's approval. Letting go of this need grants you access to a self-worth that emanates from within, a sense of value no one can undermine. Have you experienced the sharp pain of disappointment when someone failed to notice the sacrifices you've made for them? How often do you find yourself quietly wishing for overdue acknowledgement? What if you decided to let go of that weight today? What if you resolved that your fulfillment does not hinge on others' recognition, but comes from the knowledge that you've acted to the best of your ability, with kindness and love? It's never too late to change your perspective. Regardless of being in your 50s, 60s, or 70s, there's always time to move away from craving external praise and instead embrace a fulfilling life where your self-worth is defined solely by you. Free from the dependence on others' acknowledgement, you deserve to spend your remaining years unburdened by the expectation of recognition. 7. Achieving equilibrium in your lifestyle, which includes taking care of your sexual health, is vital. Sexual health is a subject that many people tend to avoid discussing, yet it warrants sincere consideration, particularly as we grow older. Engaging with our sexuality, including practices such as masturbation, is a normal aspect of human experience, and fostering a healthy approach to this part of our lives is essential. Nevertheless, if these actions become excessive or compulsive, they can indicate underlying emotional challenges that require our attention. It's crucial to recognize that when we find ourselves depending on any habitual behavior, whether it's sexual in nature or something else to escape our feelings, it may suggest that there are more significant issues at play. Have you ever observed how certain habits can seem to take control of our lives? You might engage in particular activities repeatedly, almost out of habit. Perhaps you question the reason behind your daily compulsion to partake in these habits. Frequently, such behaviors serve as attempts to fill an emotional gap or cope with feelings of isolation, anxiety, dissatisfaction, or even tedium. While these actions might provide temporary solace, we must consider whether they genuinely fulfill our emotional needs or merely disguise them. When these habits turn into a means of evasion, they can inhibit us from experiencing and addressing the deeper roots of our feelings. This can create a cycle where we feel disconnected from ourselves and lack deeper bonds with others. Although sexual health is a critical component of overall well-being, maintaining balance in this area, like in all aspects of life, is crucial. Becoming overly dependent on any specific behavior, particularly one that feels compulsive, can detract from the more enriching, long-lasting avenues available for connecting with ourselves, loved ones, and the world. The goal isn't to eliminate behaviors or feel guilty about them. Instead, it's to identify when they cease to benefit us positively and strive for a healthier equilibrium. It involves pondering whether a particular habit brings genuine satisfaction or if it acts as a distraction from confronting more profound concerns. By sincerely examining this question, you set the stage for cultivating a more balanced and healthier relationship with yourself. Pursuing balance across all facets of your existence, including your sexual wellness, is crucial for truly living life to its fullest potential. Sexual health should not diminish with age. It remains an integral element of your identity. However, when it starts to overshadow other meaningful ways of experiencing happiness and connection, it's time for a reevaluation. Positive habits should enrich your life rather than detract from it. If you're still following along and finding value in this discussion, please comment 3 below so I know you're engaging with me. It might also be worthwhile to explore pastimes that bring you joy and a sense of fulfillment on a deeper level. What activities have you been interested in trying? How can you initiate more impactful dialogues with those around you? Have you made time to cultivate relationships with family and friends or to deepen your connection with yourself? Achieving balance entails incorporating diverse activities that enrich not only your physical well-being but also your mental and spiritual states. So what sources of joy and connection resonate most with you? Is it spending time in nature, discovering new interests, or rekindling old hobbies? Perhaps it's simply engaging in a heartfelt conversation with a good friend or practicing mindfulness through activities like meditation or exercise. Whatever brings you joy, prioritize inviting more of those experiences into your everyday life. Carve out space for pursuits that fulfill you deeply, and you may discover that the inclination to depend on certain habits as a means of escaping will naturally lessen. Are you prepared to reclaim your happiness? When you strive for balance, not only in sexual health but across all aspects of life, you begin to live intentionally. You regain the capacity to foster joy and fulfillment, not by steering clear of your emotions, but by comprehending them, nurturing meaningful relationships, and engaging in endeavors that yield real satisfaction. Embrace your autonomy and live authentically. Throughout our exploration of these 7 principles, one clear message emerges: the later stages of your life are yours to shape. You possess the authority to establish boundaries, prioritize your well-being, and embrace a life characterized by tranquility, balance, and dignity. These years hold potential for joy, personal growth, and new beginnings, but the journey begins with you. The decision to live fully, to accept change, and to seek balance is entirely yours. As you reflect on everything you've discovered, think about how you plan to weave these truths into your daily routine. What adjustments will you implement to honor yourself, to live genuinely, and to enjoy the freedom inherent in living according to your own values? Your narrative continues to unfold, and the best chapters could very well be the next ones you write. As we conclude this exploration of the 7 truths, I hope you found valuable insights that resonate with your own experiences. Whether it pertains to setting boundaries, letting go of previous burdens, or achieving balance in every facet of your well-being, these teachings are designed to motivate you towards living authentically and completely. Now, I'd love to hear from you. What insights have you gained thus far? Take a moment to contemplate and share in the comments one lesson you've learned that you intend to put into practice in your life. Let's uplift one another on our journeys as we embrace these truths together. If you enjoyed this video, please leave your feedback below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Stoic Mind Mastery, for similar content in the future.